his mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Hands down, one of the best lines from this movie. Well, what's going on, good people? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of day you listen to this here podcast. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
By the time you hear this podcast, it'll be Thanksgiving. It'll be Turkey Day. It'll be time to spend with the family. Matter of fact, you can play this episode as you cook.
Yeah, because that's exactly what everybody wants to do.
Why would you want to hear about this movie as you cook?
Absolutely.
Let's be 100 about it. Welcome back to Super Throwback to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 plus years ago. And we're right here on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcasts, the big three, as we call them. I am your guy, Jay Alonzo, and with me, of course, is my partner in crime, my guy.
David Danger Neff. What's going on, partner?
What's going on, man? Well, it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, time of thanks. So before we get into this thing, I want to say I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm thankful for you. Okay. Thankful for the center folks out there. Thankful for Beat Network and all we've accomplished. I'm thankful for my family and my friends, and I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my daughter. I'm thankful for a bunch of things. I'm in a very thankful mood today. I'm thankful for this movie. On top of that, what are you thankful for, Dave?
That was really lovely. It really was.
I'm thankful for my girl as well. I know she's listening.
I'm thankful for you. Thankful for this opportunity and all the Beat family. It has been a wonderful, magical ride. This year's been rough. I'm not going to lie. So
we had to grease the tires a little bit.
It's been one of those years that has found every which way to challenge you. So I'm really thankful to get out of this year alive.
Oh yeah.
More than anything. I'm thankful for the opportunities that are presented to me. I'm thankful for my job that I currently have, and I'm thankful for future opportunities that are on the horizon. And most importantly, I'm thanking you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here sitting in the studio. Your reaction to me has been very welcoming, and I'm thankful for that.
Nice.
So thank you.
Nice. Very thankful. We're thankful today, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're thankful every day, but this is a thankful week. Because we have people who didn't even make it to this week, so we show our love to them, and we thank each other, and we show love to each other. We keep this good old thing pushing. I sound like a smooth jazz radio.
You do.
Right now. I like it.
You know what? You sound like Dusty from Daddy's Home.
Really?
The first one, where he's like doing the intro for like the jazz song.
Well, smooth radio. New one from Boney James featuring.
So like, y'all listening to 104.3.
No, think about it. Like, you make anything sound smooth like, Boney James featuring Lil Pump. Like, all right. So we normally, during our Back to the Classics episodes, we go through some movie news, but it is a holiday week, so movie news is a bit slow. However, we are pumped to see Creed 2 this weekend.
Yes, that's the big one.
And of course, there's a review coming for that. Look out for the review we just shot for Widows. And Dave has a special guest on another review coming up, which I can't wait to see because she's as cute as a button. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah, my niece, my 8-year-old niece, Lulu, is actually going to be on my review with Fantastic Beasts 2. She was a big Harry Potter fan, so we're pretty excited to get that out, get that material out there.
Oh yeah. And Lulu was so nervous. I felt bad, but
she was a wreck.
She's gonna love it. Like, trust me.
The funny thing is that like she's like normally hyper and just like bouncy everywhere. She's like Tigger.
Because now you really got to do it.
Exactly.
Like you're hyped about it so you can actually get in front of the camera.
Right.
But was definitely cool to see her. She had openly admitted that she's a fan of the show. Mm-hmm. So for that, we're stretching out, adults and kids alike. So that's always dope. So look out for those reviews. We do have those coming up. But like we said, we normally would have movie news, but it's a slow week because it's a holiday week. So we decided to kind of play a little game of catch up while we were on our little hiatus. I caught a bunch of movies, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me a couple you caught.
Oh, man. So I caught Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right. How was that?
I loved it.
I still,
I loved it.
The sad thing is I'm such a huge Freddie Mercury fan. I really need to catch it.
Well, it's one of those, it's a situation where I've always known about Freddie Mercury. I've always known about Queen. But it's just certain songs that it shocked me. Like, oh, that's their song?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like Under Pressure.
Yeah, Under Pressure was a David Bowie.
Samples
obviously.
that one,
right.
you know. And then it was a few other songs. Like, oh, that was them. I didn't know that. But of course, the movie tackles the hits that you know as far as We Will Rock You. Of course, my favorite number one, Bites the Dust. And then the scene that they're actually working on that song is jaw dropping, because really the atmosphere of that song, Another One Bites the Dust, and then you see, you know, Freddie kind of spiraling in his, you know, in his drug fueled partying ways, just makes the song that much more sweeter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury steals the show.
Really?
I mean, if he doesn't get a Oscar nomination for Best Actor, there's a problem.
See, I think that's going to be the issue when it comes up against A Star Is Born, because I caught A Star Is Born, and unfortunately, that's right when we went on hiatus to actually.
How was that? I haven't seen it yet.
It's all right. To be fair, it's a very personal story for me, because I see parts that I see. I resonate with certain family members in my household that when I see what happens to it, it's like, oh man, it's rough. Is it an amazing movie? Absolutely. Bradley Cooper could easily win Best Actor for this.
What about Best Director? I mean, this is first time out.
I could see that also. You know, it's interesting because a few years back we had the Argo situation where it was like, okay, well, Ben didn't get the Best Actor nomination, but he got a Best Director nomination. And I could easily
and the film won Best Picture.
But let me tell you, the person that steals the show, it's not Gaga. Gaga does amazing job. Let me be fair and give her credit. But the person that really steals the show, Sam Elliott.
I've heard this.
Sam Elliott, every time he's on screen, not only does he draw you away from Bradley Cooper, which is incredibly hard to do in the first place, but he pulls an emotion out of you. And
he plays Cooper's father, right?
No, brother.
Oh.
He plays Cooper's brother, which it's interesting. There's definitely talks about mental health in the movie. There is some scenes from for those who know the Barbra Streisand, and I can't think of the other guy. I want to say it's Tom Skerritt, but I'm screwing that one up. You know, there's definitely some scenes from that's really great. The music is phenomenal. It's going to win Best Song. I'm sorry, like,
and that's why the main song is getting played a lot.
It's a great song. It's a really awesome song. Like even now, I'm like playing it in my head, and I'm like, this is tough to beat. But overall, yeah, Star Is Born, pretty rock solid film.
Cool.
I'll be honest though, I'll never watch it again. It's too personal for me.
I heard it's really
personal.
It's a tough watch.
It is.
Okay. Halloween. I caught the new Halloween movie.
You know what? I did too.
And so we can go back and forth on for a second. Okay. All right. The best way to probably break this down. Okay. So did I enjoy it? Absolutely. Did I feel the nostalgia of the original movie, especially the opening credits? Definitely.
Sure.
However, it's a scareless, which is not even a word, but it's a scareless horror film.
Yeah.
And you're really you're really riding on that nostalgia.
The thing with that movie is that there's nothing about it that like really stands out to me compared to say, you know, other Michael Myers movies, obviously, or other, you know, Freddy versus Jason, as corny as that crap was, still had a couple good scenes.
Yeah.
With this, tell me literally tell me one killing that just like stood out to you.
I can tell you one that for sure stood out to me. When Michael Myers steps on the dude's head.
Yeah.
That's.
But now who was the dude?
That's a good question. I don't know who the dude was.
So
yes, I do. It was was it the cop?
No, he was the doctor.
The doctor.
Right.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
There's just, for me, Halloween was okay. Like I didn't think it was anything special.
I was entertained by it, but
sure.
Did I love it? No, I didn't. But I for what they presented me, it's really, I keep using this word a lot. It's that nostalgia factor. Like it was created for us who enjoyed the first film, but it's really no different from what Halloween H2O gave, what Halloween Resurrection gave.
Which is what the issue is. This is really just Halloween H40.
Right.
You know, this is 40
we
years
could have used
later.
a Bell Buster Rhymes quote, trick or treat, motherfucker. We could have had that, but we didn't get that. But it's fine.
No, think about it. Was there a black guy in the movie?
No, I don't believe you. Know what? We realized some real shit going on outside. And we don't need, listen, this old ass man who at this point really can't be killed is in his 60s now?
Older
than that, right?
At least.
Who can still walk with a lot of authority and kill you with his bare hands if he needed to.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, end of the day, the movie's whatever.
The part, well, okay, so I guess it's not a good thing to say that what got me the most excited was the opening credits. Cause I thought the opening credits had me like, oh yeah, this is real. This is really happening.
Okay.
Well, because it's synonymous to the first movie, but whatever.
Sure.
Venom. I caught Venom.
Okay.
Did you catch Venom?
Yes. No, okay. You want me to talk?
Yes, because I'm speechless on it. I didn't like it at all. I'm sorry.
All right, tell me why you didn't like it.
Okay, so I didn't like it. One of the obvious reasons why I didn't like it is because I didn't care for the fact that it is so watered down with the PG-13 thing.
Sure.
If you're going to go for it, I mean, really go for it, just fucking make it better. Make it R. If you know Spider-Man's not going to be in this, make it R.
Right. Which
and they missed some golden moments in this movie to where this movie could have been fucking amazing, you know? Now, the chemistry between Tom Hardy and the Venom symbiote, that's great. I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy when he venomed out and all that type of shit. That's fine. But because they wanted to go for the money instead of going for actual great story and really just pushing that limit, that's all I got out of it. You know, I thought Riz Ahmed is a shit villain. I thought,
sure.
Even Woody Harrelson, when we finally get to see he is Carnage, but he doesn't even Carnage out until whatever next movie we get.
Right.
It's like, I kind of felt cheated a little bit.
Okay. Here's my thoughts on it. I thought the movie overall was good for what it was.
But what was it though?
Right. Which it was a late popcorn action flick. Mm-hmm. It wasn't going to have the best story, and I'm fine with that because to be honest, like Venom doesn't even always have the best story. Somebody made a good suggestion for it that the better way that this would have been is if they kind of made it into like a horror movie instead. I felt like the director was doing everything he possibly could to make this into a rated R movie. But the studio really wanted that PG-13 to sell more tickets. You can feel
all the interference.
But that's what I mean. Like he was pushing. I can't put that on the director. Like the director was just like, was like, look, I'm going to try to give you guys the best and closest product to rated R because I want to stay true to the source material. Tom Hardy obviously is the MVP of that, of it. I didn't really know how to feel about Michelle Williams' character throughout it.
She seems so misplaced.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit because I know she's a better actress than that.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think she was really sold on her part in it. I agree with you on the villain, but at the same time, like I know they're doing the build up for Carnage. So am I excited to see the second one?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll catch it.
Right.
I'm not stoked to see it, no.
There were definitely parts I was laughing at though, which is one of those things a lot of people say, well, I don't want so much comedy with it. It's like, well, you gotta understand it's still a comic book.
Right.
Like you gotta throw some sort of comedy in there. And if it's going to be PG-13, you can't really throw in too much dark comedy with it. Now there are going to be some people who disagree with me and that's fine, but the studio is trying to sell tickets, right. Basically. They're trying to sell enough to make it to where it's going to be whatever. Now, if they give the director a little bit more free reign of control, then we'll see what happens. And I'll tell you something. I think they really will. And one of the reasons why is because on Netflix, you'll see you'll see the animation for Castlevania, which is based on a video game. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, they don't pull no punches in that one. They really don't pull any punches in that one. And it's a fantastic product. So I think what's going to happen is that the studio is going to see how great of a product that is and try to use that for like the Morbius movie that's coming out.
Right.
So we'll see.
And the last two I'll mention, I did see, I saw First Man.
Okay. What'd you think? Okay. All right. I can see.
Are we there?
All right. Jay, I've been around here a long time now. So his face just, he was just kind of whatever with it.
That's basically where I'm going to go with that. And another movie, I'm not going to say it disappointed me. I will say the level of expectation, because I am a fan of Damien Chazelle. I thought Whiplash is fantastic. I did enjoy La La Land. Ryan Gosling is fucking awesome, like in almost everything he does. But the way he carries this character, and that could truly be how this man actually was. There's no fucking emotion. None. It's the job. Let's get it done. You know, what happens along the way, happens along the way. I got more emotion out of Claire Foy. Actually, correction, I got all the emotion out of Claire Foy. Enough to cover Gosling and everybody else in this movie.
Right.
And that was a problem for me. You know? But, you know, some of the visuals were great, but overall, I just kind of, I'm okay.
That's a little disappointing because I do want to catch that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I will wind up catch it, and I'll find ways to disagree with you, but that's fine.
No problem. and then the final movie I definitely caught was The Hate You Give, and it was a movie that I absolutely loved.
I thought that movie was going to be great.
Yeah,
and I wish you would have told me. I would have gone. Seriously.
Where the hell did I see it? I think I saw it in New York. I did see it in New York actually.
Oh. Because it's going to be weird if I'm the only white guy in the theater. No. Because I had a reason that I could have been in Black Klansman. But The Hate You Give, what if I was like afterwards, I didn't really care for that movie.
Really? You don't racist. You don't care about the problem, the struggle? No, but The Hate You Give, directed by George Timmons Jr. of Soul Food fame, of Men of Honor fame, is a powerful film. And this is coming from somebody, as a black man, by the way, who wasn't too really interested in seeing it. Because, the problems that the movie does showcase are going on today. And I don't necessarily want it to go to a movie that's going to pretty much reflect what's happening outside. So, I was kind of on the fence about it. And I finally ended up, checking it out. And damn, Dave, the movie is beyond powerful. It's emotional to the core, and you really do get to see the inner problems with this girl who has to be one way at her school with her white friends and her white teachers and and then who she is when she's back on the block.
I wonder if there's like a reverse movie of that. The white guy who has to be a certain way with his black friends and then another way with his white friends.
I'm sure there's one.
We call it School of Ties.
Yeah. We call it Soul Man.
Right. Soul Man. There you go.
But
it's Huggy Bear from,
Huggy Bear.
Yeah. Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah. Yeah. But he got the real, they're like, fuck y'all. I'm me. No, but, you really do have, you feel for her. Because when the shooting of her friend goes down and her face is blasted all over the news, she's the one who was there, so you have the dynamic of the neighborhood that you grow up in telling you like, listen, fuck the police and and they want to rile you up to either go and fight back or, they're scared, for you to say anything because of what could happen from the police. And then on the flip side, you get your questions from your wife. Like, how do you know the dude? Why were you there? And,
right.
So you have to have this dual personality to where people are trying to figure out, what's what. And the movie just really just takes the time and really breaks it down to where, all right, it's enough for me to understand. And you feel for the character for sure. And then the movie wraps up beautifully as well. So, The Hate You Give, THUG, for those who don't know, is actually, which I had news before, but I didn't make the connection until I read about it later. But it's the Hate You Give, there's a U instead of a YOU, and that's based off of Tupac, saying that Tupac would say about thug life. The hate you give little infants fucks everybody. Thug life.
That's deep, man.
Very much so. Very much so. But yeah, the hate you give was great. Got anything else?
No.
Really?
No. I think that's a good way to end it.
All right. Well,
that's the end of the episode. Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll take care. I watched a lot of shit. Take care. But well, then let's go ahead and get to the issue at hand while we're here today. Speaking of which, so Creed 2, we are going to do a review for it.
Yes.
Look out for that one, you guys. And what else come out this weekend?
I'll wind up doing a review for Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Oh yeah, we'll probably do that.
Mm.
No, we're gonna do that. Right. I love the first Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, so do I. It's one of my favorites.
If you do not know what movie we are talking about today, of course you don't know. We haven't mentioned it yet, but we're taking it back to 1988.
I think this is the oldest movie we've done.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, because
usually like
Bronx Tales.
Yeah, usually our 20 that one, but usually like our 20 years is like 21 years, 22 years.
Right. We're taking it
way back today. A movie that is now celebrating its 30th year.
Yeah. So there you go.
The Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, James Earl Jones, Madge Sinclair, Eric LaSalle, the list John Amos, the list goes on and on. Classic till our dying day. Timeless movie till our dying day. Mm-hmm. Coming to America. Super throwback classic. Original release date, June 26, 1988. Production budget of $39 million with a box office total of $288 million. I don't think that kind of money existed back in 88.
I don't think so either. Who did share its weekend with?
It was by itself. Of course, what I've been reading, it didn't share a weekend with anything.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, it is the 80s, so that could be.
Let them shine. That's where 288 came from.
That's true.
67% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Really?
I think overall, yeah, because the ending's weird, but.
No, they do it. Like she goes back to Africa with him. They get married, and that's
spoiler alert before the. No, I'm just kidding.
If you haven't seen Comes to America now, you're fucking up. You fucked up.
No, yeah, I think 60, 75. I think I'm okay with.
I'm gonna give it a solid 80, and here's the reason why.
Okay, go ahead.
Coming to America, number one, is one of Eddie Murphy's timeless movies. A movie you can watch today and still get a good, legit laugh out of it.
Okay. That's
just
fair.
like Trading Places, just like
Beverly Hills Cop.
1 and 2. We'll leave 3 out. But 1 and 2 for sure. Hell, The First Nutty Professor.
48 hours.
Another 48 hours.
And another 48
They're
hours.
both equally great. Boomerang. Great Eddie Murphy movies that just sticks with you. You know what I mean?
Bowfinger.
Oh, God, Bowfinger.
You know how I feel about Bowfinger. That's one of my favorites.
I can't wait to talk about that one, too. That's next year. That's next year. I can't wait.
By the way, we're totally making a list for next year. So if you guys have suggestions for movies for Super Throwbacks, please hit us up on the Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, next year's going to be serious. Next year's going to be crazy
It's going to be focused.
It's going to be so much fun.
Have me for a full year.
So much
with
fun.
My input.
So, okay, so let's kick it off like this. When you first seen this movie, how old were you?
So 88, I would have been 1. First time I would have been able to understand it, probably 7. Yeah. Eddie Murphy was big overseas, so
right.
So it was pretty easy for us to kind of catch him.
For me, I'm going to say the same thing. Like the first time I seen the movie, I think
the first time I saw this movie, it was in Spanish.
Oh,
I didn't fully understand everything.
No problem. No problem. But the first time I seen it, I had to be about to say maybe about seven or eight. But the movie, it's one of those movies that I've seen just throughout life,
Right.
numerous times. Of
course.
You know? What I didn't know, however, that the movie came out in 88. In 89, it was a pilot for a planned spinoff TV show that never got made. Which I find interesting because do you really want to come into America TV show?
No.
Not really.
No, because I'll tell you why. It's going to feel too much like, all right, so we're talking 80s TV shows. So, you know, like Alf, you know, that is a perfectly good example of that, where it's like they kind of bring in this alien, you know, to kind of, you know, live with his family, and he's like chasing a cat or whatever Alf does. And I feel like I'd feel like they try to make it exactly like that.
Yeah.
Especially with how 80s like TV shows are.
It's a gimmick. Yes,
Like
it
was, those TV shows are for white people like me. You know?
You said it. I didn't say it.
You want proof? Watch Cheers. Tell me when's the first time you see a black guy in that TV show.
Cheers, I'll give you, even though I did watch Cheers from time to time. But yeah, that's a very strong point. Cheers if Cheers was a real bar, we couldn't go in there together. we just couldn't. But this movie is easily on the list of movies that should not be touched in regards to remakes, sequels, nothing.
Think so?
I mean, if I wanted to know what happened with Akeem and Lisa, I wanted that maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
It'd have to be with different characters, what I mean.
At this point, yeah, it had to be.
Of course. But the other thing is the real dynamic in this movie was this almost felt like the coming out party for Arsenio Hall.
It was.
Because he got the TV show, he got his talk show in 91.
Yes.
And that went on for a few years, and that was an excellent talk show.
It was during the what was we now know as the late night war, or the war of the late night talk show.
Right, yeah, because that was when Letterman and Leno were trying to get Johnny Carson's seat.
Conan kind of just burst on the scene around the time too. So
Conan was the super late night guy. Mm-hmm. Arsenio Hall was trying to break through somewhere in there. Craig Kilborn was had his show.
He was around at the time, yeah. So. You're right. It's the coming out party of Arsenio Hall.
I have a total. You ever watch those like old tapes? There was some real
Arsenio Hall.
Not only of Arsenio Hall,
just late night back in the day.
Late night.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, they're excellent. They're so fantastic.
Yeah. Late night talk shows back then compared to now is just almost like. And there's no shots at Jimmy Kimmel and Fallon. I love those two guys, but
not Fallon.
You don't like Fallon? I like watching Fallon.
Oh no, he's watered down.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Fallon.
I actually would prefer Conan now than Conan back then. Conan now, he's kind of like free range right now. He's not gunning for anybody's seat. He's not like, all right, you know what? We'll talk about that in our episode because this is the Eddie Murphy celebration here.
And we're going right into like talk shows and shit. All right. I love the way this movie opens. This movie opens with a great backdrop of a fictional African city called Zamunda. Mm-hmm. And you really get the Black Panther notion of wealth in this African country. And it was before there was ever a Black Panther. So the fact that we get this zoom in through, which looks fake as fuck when you really think about it now.
Sure, yeah.
But when you're going through, the city of Zamunda, you see what you see. Then it cuts to
the palace.
And Prince Akeem's waking up. And
first off, we gotta paint this scene a little bit because this is how spoiled this guy is. Now, to be fair, because Prince Akeem doesn't want to be spoiled throughout this entire movie. He just is. He doesn't want to be. He wants to understand what it's like to work. He wants to understand what like a normal life is like. John Amos
on his 21st birthday.
Right. John Amos, Oha. That's the character's name? Oha?
No. John Amos is Lisa's father.
You're right.
Oha is played by
what's his name?
give me a second. Paul Bates.
Paul Bates.
Paul Bates plays Oa.
So Oa comes in. He walks all, whatever, serious. Stands right at the foot of his bed. There's these three beautiful women holding a basket right in front of him. And in comes in the trumpet choir.
A full orchestra walks into this man's room to wake him up gracefully.
That's his alarm. That's his alarm. I want you to think about the alarm that's on your cell phone.
Tom's got a beef. He didn't go through that kind of shit.
Think of the alarm that's on your cell phone right now. It could be the T-Mobile song. Do 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 da 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 da. No, these guys were like going straight out with like Dumbo horns and whatnot, just like French horns, and it's like melodic and beautiful. Takes them a second to wake up, and everybody says good morning to him. And these flower girls are just kind of like throwing petals.
They bathe him.
Right. They bathe him. They're fully naked when they bathe him, and they weren't hiding expenses there at all. And then probably, and this may be my iconic scene already, is right when he's about to go use the bathroom, have his morning duty, literally. And he's like, it's my 21st birthday. Don't you think for once I could use the bathroom by myself? And Oa laughs. He goes, ha ha ha, wipers? Wipers? He has somebody to wipe his ass for him.
Which is funny because I never caught that joke until way down the road.
Right, exactly.
I mean, way down the road.
Even when I watch this movie now, I couldn't stop laughing at this image because that's the worst job in the country.
To wipe
the country.
The prince's ass.
That's a death row citizen's job.
Why buzz?
Why buzz? You paid 73 cents an hour to do this,
And so,
and what if there's like two other guys that have to like spread the cheeks and then he has to wipe? So it's like a 3-man job.
All right. Okay. But I do love the fact that he wants to live this normal life as a normal guy. But even when he's breaking it down to his mom and dad about the pampering and the feeding and the bathing. Well, actually, I'd rather enjoy the bathing. I would too, actually.
Right. And then the scene is just extravagant. They have like this long, you see this in these ridiculous movies where there's this long table, in between each other. So you're having breakfast, and you're at the same table, but you're not really at the
together,
same table.
Yeah. And then you're communicating via speaker.
Right. And right. Cause King Jaffe
Joffer.
Yeah, Jaffe Joffer, who's played by the legendary James Earl Jones, who may be one of my favorite actors ever. He's speaking to his wife. He's like, he seems unpleasant today.
How can you tell he's way fucked up?
Right. He's not his normal self, which now I'm imagining that normally he's being like Eddie Murphy.
Right.
Which is, just being a shithead or whatever,
right.
Just being whatever. And so he goes and clicks on this speaker. Son, why don't you come down here why don't you come down here and sit closer to us? And as he gets up to begin to go, he's like, wait a minute, son.
Rose petals.
Rose petals. And these girls are outrunning him to make sure he doesn't.
Oh God, yeah.
That's how spoiled you are.
That's how rich you are.
That's how rich I want to be. Fuck it, man.
Yeah, okay.
I want a wiper. I want to walk on rose petals.
So the point,
some soul glow.
The point for the king is basically, their tradition that they found him a bride to be. It's an arranged wedding,
right? His 21st birthday.
21st birthday. So that's how things work. Now his mom, who's a bit more understanding as far as that's her baby boy. But the king is more so about the tradition. So when we get to the next scene where we're now at this big extravagant event, of course that's not the next scene, but Akeem and we meet Simi, played by Arsenio Hall. They have this fencing practice they do, and Akeem is pretty much expressing his need to do something different.
I was wrong on Arsenio Hall, by the way. He totally got the talk show in '89. So I wonder if this was the movie that projected him to get it. Had to be, right?
Had to be.
Had to be.
So, and if that was the case, well fucking deserving on his part.
Absolutely.
Because
that went from '89 to the mid '90s.
Because he broke out. Absolutely. So, we get to the scene where it's this extravagant event. Akeem's going to meet his bride-to-be for the first time. And this is where my iconic scene comes in, and I don't think I'm going to change it, but Paul Bates as Oha. Okay, so
first we got to talk about his posture. His posture in this is what kills me more than anything.
It's not about the posture, just the way he wraps this part up. It's like, as we get Vanessa Bell Calloway as the bride, right? He comes in stone faced as fuck.
Hands to the side.
Hands to his side.
Like, not that he's necessarily focusing, but like he doesn't really want to fucking be here.
He doesn't want to do it.
Right.
So he comes out, super stone faced, quiet. She's your queen. I'm like, what the fuck?
Goes through a whole song.
I mean,
a whole minute and a half song.
Now, what makes this my iconic scene is that he's belting it out. He's going, right? It's an Earth, Wind & Fire song, by the way.
The worst part about it is that he's not in front of a microphone.
No,
so he has to belt it out to the end of the hall.
This is him.
She's your queen.
So by the time he gets to the end of the song and he hits that super high note, and then once he's done the song, he goes right back to Stoneface.
Oh, man.
I love that scene. I mean,
so
I still cry laughing for that scene to this day. And so Akeem goes over to the princess, like, can we talk for a moment? This chick is 100% raised and trained to merely be your wife. Mm-hmm. But like a duck. A big duck.
She's like, woof, woof.
Make a noise like an orangutan. Hop on one leg.
Like he's just,
what?
Like she's just like, it's not even a marriage. It's just servitude.
It's servitude. 100% servitude. You basically inherited a slave, a new slave. That's
pretty
cool.
much. Yeah.
And so from here, he talks to his father. He wants to do his own thing. He wants to go to America, sow his royal oats. And so, mind you, this is a event.
Mind you, James Earl Jones in this talk, he's like, do you not enjoy bathing with the other girls? Do you not play with your bathing girls?
I know
I'd have. I'm like, bro.
My mom is over there, you ass. But I love the fact that James Earl Jones, because he's the king, he can do the type of shit. He has a crowded palace full of people. Comes out. My son's going on a trip. Prep the royal bag. We'll see you back. The wedding is postponed. Come back in a month.
40 days.
In 40 days.
My son will marry in 40 days.
You can all go home.
Prep the personal bag.
He says you can all go home. Good night. Like, the fuck? Like,
right. Event is over.
Leave. Leave now. So, and this is when the movie really just takes off, because now he's trying to figure out where he's going to go. And just on a sheer whim, lands in New York, lands in Queens.
In Queens. Why? Because he wants to find his queen.
I never caught that until what?
Because he wants to find his queen in Queens, of course.
So they get to New York, and this is 1980s.
So this is
fucking New York.
So keep in mind, back in the 1980s and 90s, they talked about how New York was like one of the most dangerous places they could possibly be in.
The crack era.
Right, because you had the crack era then. Queens was pretty much a project. Now, it's been 10 years since I've been to New York, but last I remember, Queens wasn't nearly as bad.
Nowhere near as close.
From what they were sounding. But when they arrived to this place, Arsenio Hall is just like not sold on this at all. And, they show up. First of all, they have like 15 bags. And, with each one of these bags, there's all sorts of, goodies with like, the clothing is there and
gold,
all the clothing. It's all gold and whatnot. So everybody's eyeballing these guys like, what are you doing here? And they go and they knock on the door. And the landlord, who I can never remember his name.
Frankie Faison.
A great
fucking actor.
He doesn't even open the door welcoming. He opens the door threatening.
Well, see, to touch on that real quick, because if we're going to go back to the airport really quickly.
Sure.
When he walks out to hail a cab, he goes, "Halt!" And
He stands in front of the middle of the road. Halt!
And the drunk is like, "You dumb fuck!" Right? Mind you, that's New York in a heartbeat. That's New York in a nutshell. So as they're in the taxi cab and they're driving, Akeem's he's hyped to be damn. Somebody's like, "This is bullshit. Whatever this is bullshit." Like, oh, what does dumb fuck mean? This how you know for a fact he's never been to America. Like, he has no clue what he's
never been insulted.
So going back to that, he's in Queens, and Frankie Faison opens the door. What's his line?
Oh, I'm not going to remember that.
Oh, shit. But they find the most disgusting apartment building. And the first thing they do, first of all, one of the best quick shots is, the guys taking all of their stuff out. The minute they go inside to look at the apartment, the whole neighborhood come and grab their shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, coming to steal their shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I love that callback of a joke because the callback to that joke is fantastic, but we'll get to that in a second. But the first thing they encounter is the guy falling downstairs.
Right.
who does this often, by the way.
No, I now know what he says. Because it was super threatening, super aggressive.
Like, yeah, what the fuck y'all want?
Right, right. He's like, okay, now what the fuck do you want?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I desire a room. So imagine this, like, the richest dude you've ever laid eyes on, wants to basically sleep in your basement. And I mean, no prepping of cleaning or anything. No prepping.
I want it as is.
I want it as is. He wants to know what it's like to live in the projects. He wants to know what it's like to get a job and all that.
So I wish I was that rich to have that curiosity. Like, fuck that.
Right.
All right. So another great scene, the same scene. They go up to, they find a place they want. And in the apartment, there's two body outlines, one for a man and the other for a dog. And he goes,
shame what they did to that dog.
Damn, shame what they did to that dog. Like, what the fuck they do to the dog?
I know, right?
God.
Did they even have, like, the eyeball for the dog?
I believe so.
In there as well?
I believe so. He says, don't use the elevator as a death trap. Why are you so allowed to run this fucking place? Like, oh my God. Now, cut back to, okay, so another great scene. They take the place, Akeem walks outside. He goes, "Hello, my neighbors. Fuck you. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Fuck you too." Yes. That is, oh yeah. You talk about, this movie is 100% a fish out of water adventure. Like, you have the slightest idea what you get yourself into. You know what I mean?
So they decide to go get a job.
Yes.
Right? And we get introduced to McDowell's. Not McDonald's, because you can't be part of the McDonald's family.
2-minute drill question. Who robs the McDonald's?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, you're good.
Too easy.
You're good.
Too easy.
Who's this asshole?
Who's this asshole?
Fuck you. Love it. Awesome scene.
Yeah, that was like one of his earliest roles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But they actually did put him in the main credits also.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
You're right. Let's talk about the first time we get to see what we now know is Eddie Murphy's specialty. We're talking about like the multiple characters at one time when he goes to the barbershop to cut his
right, because this was
ponytail.
because this is right before he actually started working. Mm-hmm. Right before we get to McDowell's. So the first thing he goes to this beauty salon area, and there's this commercial for the prettiest Jerry curl.
So glow.
And for some ridiculous reason with this, with everything that's going on, it's like this commercial he straight up watches this commercial, and this commercial goes on for about a minute.
Right.
You know, talking about how great the product is, and just looks incredibly sweaty. The hair, it's like all greased up.
Have you ever had a Jerry curl?
I can't say I have, but
I can tell you it is the most greasiest shit you'll ever.
You've had a Jerry curl?
Oh, most definitely.
You look like Charlie Murphy right now.
As a child, I had an afro that became a curl. My father had one of the juiciest Jerry curls ever known to man. When he shakes his head, everybody's wet. Everybody's wet. So
he walks into this barbershop, which, by the way, 2-minute drill question. What's the name of the barbershop?
Mike T Shop.
That's right.
Absolutely. But they should call it the Three Putzes. Change it to Mike T Shop to the Three Putzes. Now, this to me is hands down just a moment in time, because we're now used to seeing Eddie Murphy playing those multiple characters. But we talk about the first time you walk into this shop and you got to really look at these people like, is that fucking Eddie Murphy again playing another character?
Yeah.
Because you know he plays the main lead barber, the owner of the shop, and he plays the Jewish dude playing checker or chess.
Yeah, I think it's Arsenio Hall.
And Arsenio Hall plays the other barber.
Right.
Right? But he does it so well. It's like you fucking forget that's Eddie Murphy. And he's one of the barbers who continuously lies about people he's cut their hair for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we get that iconic line. His mama named Clay. I'm calling him Clay. And another 2-minute drill question. Eddie Murphy plays another character outside the shop. Who's black?
I don't know.
You sure?
Maybe. I don't know.
Sexual Chocolate!
That's fair, yeah.
Mr. Randy Watson!
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The singer.
He was on the Going On episode of That's My Mama. But this movie just, we can't really say it go through this entire movie because it's just so much to really dive into. But really, we're talking about Lisa, played by Sherry Heatley, who was a great leading lady for this movie.
Of course.
John Amos as Mr. McDowell.
Right.
He was great. Even Louis Anderson's in this fucking movie. You know?
Hey, he's over here. See, back in the day, I used to mop the floors also. Now they promoted me to washing the lettuce, and in about a year or two, I'll be assistant shift manager.
Yeah.
You're not even the shift manager. You're the assistant to the shift manager. There's 5 people working in that restaurant.
Meanwhile, you're on lettuce. Got it. All right, cool. Now, fun fact for you, in LA, I don't know how often they're doing it again now, but they take a restaurant that's on don't fuck it up. I want to say it is off of Fairfax and Sunset. I could be wrong, but it's a restaurant called Fat Sal's, and they actually turn that place into an actual McDowell's.
No kidding.
And when I say it's an actual McDowell's, there's a huge sign outside that says McDowell's. Everything that's inside this place is named after things from the movie. So you got the Big Mac is an actual sandwich. You got the people that work in there are dressed like that ugly ass McDowell's uniform with the red with the hat on and all that shit. Like it's 100% McDowell's. And I believe they did it for Halloween this year. And I think they did it earlier this year for the 30th anniversary of Coming to America.
No kidding.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
Wow.
I mean, it's Hollywood, so that's what I expect. But
yeah, of course.
the fact they turned it into a full-blown McDowell's, I thought was great. So, tell me about how you felt going back to the sexual chocolate scene. Is that here we go, another person that Arsenio Hall plays, the preacher.
The preacher, yeah.
And I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna change his name. He brings out Eddie Murphy as Randy Watson. And that seems hilarious because the crowd is with you for the most part. By the time this man hits the stage, Nobody gives a fuck.
Right. Because it takes him, because
Oh, God.
he sits there for like 7 minutes talking about nothing.
Reverend
At
Brown.
all.
And so, give it for Mr. Randy Watson. All here's like, that boy good. Yeah, good and terrible. And so, it's moments like these that once again, like, you can't touch Coming to America, man. You just can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, let's talk about when Akeem and Simi go to the clubs to try to find Akeem's queen.
The women that they meet.
And the women
It's
that they
awful.
meet. The chick.
Arsenio Hall played one of them.
Played a chick,
Yeah,
yes.
he played like the
a horrible
ugliest chick.
You have the twins. You have I was Joan of Arc in my former life. That chick.
No, the twins cracked me up. We just recently got separated from being together. It's like, were you Siamese twins?
This whole time? Are you like 20? What the fuck? Anyway. But the actual romance between Akeem and Lisa seemed natural because you know the difference between, like, let's say Lisa and her sister. Her sister was that Jodie Watley looking for the Soul Glow guy, basically.
Right.
And you have this dude, you don't know much about him, but he's handsome, he's charming, and he has this very thorough interest in you. But when it's revealed to her that he is a prince, her reaction was like, well, is it really a problem?
Well, no, because that was his reaction to it.
Right.
You know, because he was like, I want you to like me for who I was.
Right.
Right. Instead of vice versa. Mm. You know, at this point, Akeem had kind of been, going through all the motions of, like, he won like Employee of the Month and he had been working this job for some time. And it was a little shady how he kind of like swooped in to like get her eventually. And it didn't help that Eric LaSalle, Daryl, pretty much tried to make a power play into basically like forcing an engagement instead, which, Akeem is all familiar with. The romance was natural. It wasn't the best chemistry in the movie. That definitely went to Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy. But yeah, so there was an important message in terms of, well, I'm a prince. Does that really matter to you? The other side of this, though, was that Arsenio Hall just cracks me up because he's just like, he is so done with living in the projects after like a day that he's waiting for anything to basically happen.
Right.
And he was like, Akeem, have you realized we've been here for 3 weeks and we have not slept with one woman yet? It's like I always want to say to him, hey, welcome to America, bro.
That's how it goes down, buddy. Welcome. And even with Simi takes the once fucked up apartment and pimps it out.
He puts a fucking jacuzzi in the middle of the fucking
he does a little more than that, but I mean,
no, that was a pretty. It was a jacuzzi. It was a huge jacuzzi in the middle of the apartment. I want you to keep in mind, they're on like the 3rd or 2nd floor. So if something goes wrong, that's all leaking through. He didn't give a fuck.
That is very true. I'm quite sure shit was leaking through.
I'm sure. I'm sure. No doubt about it.
Oh, man. So I'm going to fast forward to when the king and queen come to America now to find their son.
Right. Because they finally – so basically – Simi is just like had enough of this shit. And he wants to send over this telegram, and he's basically saying, "We're out of money. Please send over $1 million." And the king apparently didn't realize he actually gone to America.
Right.
He was assuming something else, that he was going to go around and sleep with a whole bunch of women, but he didn't realize they were in like New York City and whatnot.
He never knew that they were going to America. He thought they were going to travel abroad.
Right.
But they had actually ended up going to America, which is the funniest thing about it. And even back in the day, America's like, you went to fucking America?
Right. Of all those.
Of all places. You know, even back then we're known as that shit country. But anyway. But give us another scene when the king meets Lisa's dad. And
hold on. No,
I'm sorry.
Before we get to that part, I want to talk about when he finally meets up with Simi. After Frankie Faison has switched apartments now, and he's sitting in the jacuzzi now. They're in his shithole apartment, and the king's like, he's like, Simi, you are on punishment now. Go to my suite in the Waldorf Astoria, and wait for my instructions there. He's like, oh, thank you so much. Like,
make sure he's bathed. Like, that's punishment? Oh my God.
I know, right?
To fuck up more often. Yeah, so when he finds out that Akeem's been working and all that, he goes, my son works! Hilarious. Because James Earl Jones has always had that voice that's like powerful, scary as fuck if you ever get, if he's mad at you. But when the time when the king meets Mr. McDowell, and you see the fathers of the kids kind of like not meshing well, but how drastically different they are from each other.
Sure.
McDowell's the hustler, not the hustler, but he's the working man versus the king who's not.
He's not a hustler per se,
right.
But he definitely has no problem with Lisa suddenly moving up from Daryl, because Daryl's a fucking bum now because this guy's royalty. I'm like, hold on a second. Daryl's a bum? This dude's rich also.
He's the fucking Prince of Soul Glow. I mean, that's not saying much now, but
right.
But to go back to that though, I love the fact that when we get the scene where Daryl try to like forces this whole engagement on him. We get his mom, grandma, aunts, whatever. I guess his mom, dad, grandma, and they all have Jerry curls.
They all stand up to like congratulate,
leaving the damn
and their
stains.
Oh my god!
That'd piss me off so much. Are you fucking serious? Who's buffing that out? Like
I also like Mr. McDowell's and Akeem's like real first interactions when like because Akeem stops Samuel L. Jackson, right? And so he's like, why don't you come over by the house tonight? I'm having a party. And so he thinks that like, he totally thinks that he's like, you see, Simi, I'm going to win her father's good graces. Next scene, they're parking valet for this house party, for this house event.
They're working the party. Oh my God. So, to pretty much wrap this thing up, cause like you'd have to bounce around with a movie like this. So we now know, Eric LaSalle, Soul Glow, whatever. You do you, there's royalty over here.
Right.
So, Lisa, who's at the time is upset, she doesn't know, she's confused about what's going on. Basically allows Hakeem to go back to Africa. In some way in between, she's recontacted by somebody. So on wedding day, it's Lisa.
Right.
So, which I thought was a good way to wrap up the movie because, it showed his father finally kind of understanding where his son, how different his son is from him.
Right.
And, allowing him to find love, not just find a wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for that, I do enjoy the way the movie actually wraps up. That's me though.
I agree with you. There's not much that can really be said there. There's a lot of the last act of the movie kind of drags a little bit because it's a lot of trying to figure out what's going to wind up happening. Mm-hmm. And it did drag just a little bit towards the end, but it was kind of a nice surprise kind of a nice thing to kind of wrap it up with a happy ending of Akeem and Lisa finally being together.
Now, if we were to get a sequel now, it'd be their kids probably.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be interested in a sequel about them, honestly. Not even. I'm just not interested in that because I feel like that's been done too many times over. I feel like the only way it could be done has to be almost similar to like The King and I and Anna and the King, where it's the American goes to a different country, and
But we've seen that several times too.
Of course. So it's like there's almost no point in redoing this.
Leave it alone. Takeaways. Let's knock this out. Who's gonna get that guy award?
It's gonna be Eddie Murphy. It's his movie. Everybody else is just in it. He plays every single role that you could possibly think of. He had the best lines. Akeem is a likable character, right? Which is clear. Shout out to Semi, because a lot of that comedy was played off of each other a little bit.
Right, with their excellent chemistry.
Of course. But it's pretty hard not to give it to Eddie Murphy here.
That chick award.
I'm going to give it to his mom. Because at least his mom.
Good call.
You know what? I didn't mind Lisa, but it just really felt like it felt like with her, it's like, oh, okay, well, I am moving on from Eric to Akeem. And I was like, that kind of cheapens it a little bit.
Right.
The mom, though, was a strong character. Had the interest of the son, in the best ways, understood that her role was very likely to be that she was married into because she was married to fall in love with with the husband. And they wound up obviously getting along, but you never know where you're going to get with those.
Right.
Also, but she understood like why it was important for him to really want to try to find love.
Right. This full award.
If anybody, Louis Anderson.
Yeah, realize you've been played, man.
At the start of this, I didn't think I could find a fool, because it's like even Daryl at his absolute worst is really just like, he knows he has money and he knows he could probably get whatever girl he wants at that point because he has money. Mm-hmm. So in some sense, he's going to get that sense of entitlement. But at the same time, you kind of feel bad for him also, because at the end of the day, was he absolutely a bad dude? Not really. Not really. He's just, he has some scummy features, but for the most part, he also wants to get married as well. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Louis Anderson, though, you are a career fast food worker at this point. You were gunning for that assistant shift manager, and I don't know how much fast food paid in the 1980s, but 30 years later, you better be running the store.
Well, worse than that, you're competing for a spot in a place that's in direct competition with
McDonald's,
with a much bigger franchise. But all right, whatever. Cut that out.
Probably the train scene, actually. Like, I know there was some wrapping up that had to be done there, but I didn't care for it. There was this back and forth that was going on, and they have this retarded thing with New Yorkers where it's like, you get the opinion of the public, and whatever New Yorkers say, that's what should be done. And that irritates the crap out of me, because I'm like, you guys support the Yankees, so I don't know. You guys prefer the New York Knicks, right. And they haven't won anything in God knows how long.
Iconic scene.
It's going to be that wiper scene, because there's with respect to your scene with the belting out of the song from Oha, which is funny because he's very much likely for most of the comedy in this. Mm-hmm. It's just that opening entitlement that you actually feel. It's like, how rich are you? I have a dude that we've hired that wipes my own ass.
I do nothing. I shit and I get up.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. Okay.
All right. Who's getting you that guy award?
All right. My that guy award. It's going to go to Akeem. He's a positive character. I have a hard time believing he's fucking 21, but that's whatever. But, he is a guy just kind of looking to be his own man, kind of explore life the way he sees fit.
That chick award?
And he's doing it in Queens. So I was like, all right. That chick award is going to go to, I'm going to steal yours as well. I was going to give it to Lisa, but he made a strong point. I'm going to give it to Lisa's sister. Here's the reason why.
Really?
Yeah. Lisa's sister.
That's a good one.
Because Lisa's sister never quite shied away from being who she is.
That's fair.
She had a slight jealousy because she was with Daryl, and Lisa was with Daryl, but she wasn't. And when it found out that Akeem was actually a prince, she got to realize, how come she gets all the good ones?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, where's Lisa girl at? Lisa's sister, where's her dude at? You know? So yeah, and plus I always thought she was gorgeous. Like that's a bad.
She's cute.
That's a bad chocolate one.
That full award.
That full award. I want to give it to Louis Anderson, but then I also want to give it to Eric LaSalle. But then I also want to give it to Frankie Faison because I'm gonna give it to Frankie Faison. Here's the reason why. You run this apartment building. You run this piece of shit building. You know the plumbing ain't good in here. You know the walls ain't good in here. You allow these motherfuckers to build a goddamn jacuzzi in the middle of an apartment that you know you can't support. And to make matters worse, you move them out so you can move in. Oh, wow.
That line he says when the dude's falling down the stairs. Sue, motherfucker, my rent's due. He's like, you better not be trying to pull that fella down the stairs shit again.
You breathing. But cut that out. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna do the train scene. The train scene does carry on a bit long. And like you, I also get annoyed by the whole, well, let me ask everybody else on the train how they feel about it. It's none of their fucking business.
Right, exactly.
But that's how New Yorkers generally are.
Right, and it's stupid. I hate it.
Right.
And iconic scene.
Now I'm thinking about it, even though I wanted to be She's a Queen to be, I really want to be the Randy Watson scene. Because not only does he gives that performance his all, right? But when the song is done, he goes, "Sex with chocolate! Sex with chocolate!" Stops, extends his arms, drops the mic, points at the crowd, walks off. Nobody says shit. I mean, you talk about knowing that you just bombed that bad. It's just, man, dude, I can watch that scene now and be in fucking tears because of it, I'm telling you. So, that's it. That's what we got for our takeaways. I'm going to pull up our good old quick hits. We can wrap this puppy up. Real quick. So we're saying we don't want to do a Coming to America sequel. No.
I don't think there's a point to it.
What about remake?
No.
Not even remake?
No, I'm a little, there's a part of me that's kind of over remakes right now. So it's like, I don't know. Right. Look, it has to be a good script. Eddie Murphy has to be somehow tied to it. You know, find a way to get Arsenio Hall into it as well, and then
because he's super busy nowadays.
Yeah,
Quick hits. This film marks the first time Eddie Murphy played multiple characters in the same film, something which has become a trademark of his.
Yep.
All right.
Nutty Professor. I mean, he really went all out for that style. But it's like, it was funny in Nutty Professor, and then it really started to get old. And it got old fast, especially when he got to like Norbit. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was so bad.
I actually found very little enjoyment out of Norman. And then when it was from Eddie Murphy, from everybody else around him.
Can't wait till we do Super Throwback on that one.
That'll be a while. The homeless men that received the money from Prince Hakeem are the Duke brothers, played by Ralph Bellamy and Don Amici from Trading Places. In that movie, Billy Ray Valentine was responsible for the Dukes losing their fortune. I love the fact that ties into Trading Places.
That's good.
I thought that was done so fucking well. I'm like, Dukes! Wow, so they've been homeless this whole time. Oh, wow. The name of the fiction African country the main characters are from is called Zamunda. This name was taken from a Richard Pryor routine where he referred to a fictional African tribe of the same name. All of the
credit on those callbacks there, because that's really supporting the culture back then, especially 1980s comedy. Like everybody knew everybody back then in the 1980s. Especially for black comedy.
And Eddie Murphy, he's never been shy about his love for Richard Pryor. Like,
no,
we've always known that.
And who would be shy about that? It's Richard Pryor.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. All of the characters in the barbershop, including the Jewish man, were played by Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Clint Smith, and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba was the little boy getting a haircut.
He was the little boy getting his haircut.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. In the credits, the fictitious Zamundun Film Commission is thanked. Just because, fuck it, I guess. According to John Landis, it was his idea to have Eddie Murphy wear makeup to play a Jewish man as a sort of payback for Jewish comedians wearing blackface in the early 1900s. John Landis was really about black. That's what's up.
He was woke back then.
He was woke back then. John Landis and Eddie Murphy did not get along, and Murphy vowed to never work with Landis again. However, the two later reconciled, and Eddie personally asked John to direct Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Ouch.
And he gave me that shit.
Oh.
So I said they're not cool again after that?
I don't think so.
And one more before we wrap this puppy up. Oh, two more. We'll do two more. Sidney Poitier was originally considered for the role of King Jaffe Joffer. As though I would love to see that, James Earl is King Jaffe to me.
No, I don't think Sidney is funny enough. Sidney is a super serious actor.
Yeah, he's not
especially with like Heat.
Oh yeah,
he didn't laugh at all in that movie.
Nothing to laugh at. And last one, Eddie Murphy's demands for appearing in the film included $1,500 per week for his personal trainer, round-the-clock chauffeur service, a valet, and $1,000 per week for his brother to appear in as a stand-in. When you're Eddie Murphy, man, you're Eddie Murphy at his peak.
I mean, what was his budget? What they spent on this?
The movie budget was like $39 million.
Okay.
So I guess
$1,500 a week though. That's like for a personal trainer.
What?
Pay me $1,500 a week, Eddie Murphy. I'll get you in shape.
I'll get you in all kind of shape.
I'll get you in my shape.
So,
which is round.
That's all for Super Throwback. It feels so good to bring back Super Throwback. And like we said,
back in general.
We're doing it once a month. We'll never do it every month for sure. But above all, it's always good to be sitting here in this here studio talking to our center folks out there. Me and my guy kind of just shooting the shit.
Is that what we do?
Yeah, we just shoot shit. We just shoot shit.
We shoot shit. That's what we do around here.
We just shoot the shit.
You listeners are here just to listen to us shoot shit.
Big Dave, Danger David Neff. Where can they find you?
You can always find me on all the major social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I did close down that Snapchat, like I said I would. I'm the co-host here at Back to the Classics, so I'm also the co-host for Reel It Back, which we are officially back on that. There will definitely be a lot more material that you will see me on that won't necessarily have to do with movies, so look out for that through beatnetworkonline.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where you can find me at. My guy, Jay Alonzo, where can they find you?
You can find me on all the social media simply at I am Jay Alonzo. That's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Now, I'm like Dave. Snapchat will be going away very soon. But everything else, you can holler at me. You talk to me and I'll talk back. Also, like Dave, I'm going to be doing some extra stuff with Beat Network. Not necessarily related to movies, but you'll be seeing my face on a lot more other things very, very, very soon. I'm doing some writing now, y'all. Some writing and some directing. Let's see what happens with that. And besides that, we're here every week giving our honest opinion on movies that came out 20 years ago, movies that came out today. And we'll continue to do what we do. With that being said, I am Jay Alonzo with my guy.
I'm Danger Neff.
This is Back to the Classics. Super Throwback to the Classics. We'll see y'all next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Peace out.